Hey, I'm here with Laura.
Hello, everyone.
So, Laura's going to tell us a little bit about really where you have come over the last
Mhm.
6 months. You've been here for over a year now,
Yeah, over
but
there.
specifically, what has been your focus and attention over the last 6 months?
Yeah. So I suppose maybe kind of the caveat to this is that my goal in all of this, I suppose, initially was fat loss, and now it's probably transitioned more to kind of body recomposition to make kind of have that kind of lean kind of look and be able to lift strong kind of within the gym. So that's kind of my goal. So that's kind of the caveat to it. Kind of the overarching kind of principle. I suppose what I have done, like I recognize that kind of training is a really important part of that. But what happens outside of the gym is maybe a little bit more important than what happens kind of the 3 hours or 4 hours if you're training 4 or 5 hours kind of a week. So I kind of split it up in my head that we have kind of four quadrants. And the first quadrant is kind of training at the gym. So that's what kind of you come and you do your kind of your gym sessions. Then the second quadrant for me was all about kind of your neat activity. So activity outside of the gym. So usually I'm really bad at stairs generally.
Yeah.
So it was a real kind of priority and focus to me to kind of start moving outside of the gym, whether it's just going for a walk on a lunchtime or evening, or even doing like, yes, kind of, or even doing a bit of stretching or yoga or Pilates and stuff like that. So I really kind of focused on what I was doing outside of the gym as well as inside of the gym. The other quadrant for me was all about kind of rest and recovery, stress management, sleep. And there's a lot of external factors which affect your ability to kind of go well on your journey. So I have a really, really good support network. So that was really important to kind of for me. And I prioritized managing stress and sleep and recovery to make sure I could kind of perform on the gym floor. So that was another important quadrant. And the fourth one was all about nutrition. So that was making sure I was eating correctly. And it wasn't necessarily about restricting anything. It was just making sure I met kind of my calorie targets.
Yes.
And then within that, looking at the quality of my calories in that. So making sure I was getting protein, fiber, fats, and all that, making sure I was getting enough to sustain performance in the gym floor.
Adding to, not taking away.
Correct. Yes, correct. So I've gone through a few cycles. So I've kind of done calorie deficit, calorie maintenance, and deficit. And now I'm kind of looking at a bit more kind of fueling for performance on the gym floor, really focusing, making sure I'm getting enough calories in and good quality calories to really see if I can kind of push myself kind of at the sessions. But yeah, so it wasn't taking away, it was adding to. Yes. Yeah.
So people really struggle with nutrition.
Yeah.
They have a real barrier against consistent and accurate tracking.
Yeah.
But also complicating it as well. How did you absolutely nail this within a very short period of time? Even right back to the beginning of your journey,
I remember you kind of said to me, like at the start, I remember kind of thinking, we kind of discussed about, right, let's see what we can do in 12 weeks. So in my head, it was a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. So I was kind of like, look, this isn't going to be forever. Like, let's just kind of let's kind of jump in. Let's be consistent. Let's be honest. Let's be accountable for a short space of time, see what results I could get. And then, because I knew it wasn't going to be forever, I didn't want to be the type of person to invest my money, my time and resources and not get the return back. So I kind of thought, I don't want to be like two steps forward, 4 steps back. I hated that kind of back and forth. So just go all in, just do it and be accountable. Like obviously tracking is a huge part of that. I didn't make it complicated. I said I wasn't restricting anything. I was still eating chocolate, crisps, kind of drinking some alcohol at the weekend, but I made some swaps in order to make that sustainable kind of for the long term. So I knew I had to enjoy life. I had to enjoy what I ate. But equally, sometimes you're going to have to maybe look at what it is. You're going to have to make the change and you have to be okay with that and recognize you're going to need to make some changes in order to get the goal that you kind of that you want. So,
and sometimes it's about the sacrifice as well, knowing that, if you're going to watch the Six Nations, what do you have to do to be able to have a little bit more relaxation around that, a little bit more flex, but also, well, actually during the week I'm going to sacrifice this to be able to enjoy whatever event or holiday or
celebration or whatever it is
coming up.
Yeah, totally. So that's what it is. So you kind of have to weigh it all out in your head, and it does take a little bit of sacrifice. Kind of commitment and consistency is never going to just come easily. It does require a little bit of change. So you have to be willing to to do that. And I think part of that is looking at your nutrition. We always kind of say about how fat loss doesn't happen on the gym floor, muscle building doesn't happen on the gym floor, it happens in your kitchen.
Absolutely.
And so you really have to be honest with what it is that you're kind of eating and tracking, and really see how it does to kind of get you. That's one of the main things that will kind of get you to that goal and where it is you want to be. So weighing out your food, tracking it, being accountable, being honest. You know, we kind of say about how Friday, Saturday, and Sunday actually makes up a huge portion of your week, and of your calories that you're kind of consume. So you have to be kind of honest with that, but you're still enjoying yourself. I remember when I kind of first joined that I had like a holiday, I had camping trips, I had celebrations, I kind of moved jobs and stuff like that, and it all was kind of sustainable in that. But you just need to be ready and be prepared and kind of look at it as kind of what you're doing in order to kind of achieve your goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And then tell us a little bit more about what your current goals are in terms of your strength development and progress.
Yes. So I'm sure you guys all know that I'm kind of very goal oriented. So when I kind of started 2023, I had some goals that I wanted to achieve for the end of 2023, and I kind of set them out. I knew what comp point lifts I wanted to do, what goals it is I wanted to achieve, and I've already smashed like the majority of them, if not all of them. So with every type of cycle that we're doing on the gym floor, I will kind of set up kind of in consultation with you where it is I want to get to in terms of kind of my end goal, in terms of what it is I can lift. And sometimes the increases aren't necessarily that much. It's not also always about lifting more. It's about getting your form and technique right, making sure you can lift kind of confidently. So I want to be able to do that maybe without a spotter, for example. So that's some of the goals that I have, and I'm kind of increasing my calories at the minute to kind of perform on the gym floor as well, which is really nice when I'm feeling full and feeling energized. So that's kind of where I am with kind of my kind of fitness and training at the minute, which is great.
And one last thing you said on your check-in to me last week, and I remembered to smile, I think is what you told me.
Yes.
About bringing the fun element to fitness.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about where that statement goes in your head.
Yeah, well, sometimes, as you say, like I can be hard on myself sometimes, and I suppose other people are as well. Like I've seen people getting maybe frustrated or disappointed when they haven't been able to kind of lift something, or maybe, you know, they see maybe other people around. I think the only person you're in competition with is yourself. You don't need to kind of compare yourself to anyone else around kind of the gym floor. It's all about you and where you are. And sometimes you get so kind of focused, and it's good to have a goal, but you have to remember to have fun along the way and laugh. And so what if you don't lift it? It's a lifelong journey. It's lifelong learning. So you will get there one day. You know, just remember to smile and enjoy the ride, because there will be highs, there will be lows, there'll be tears, there'll be laughter, and it's just all part of the process, you know, and you just need to be okay with that and try and have as much fun. I think it makes it much easier when you have a crowd of girls around you, like in here, which are really supportive and like kind of encourage each other and motivate each other along the way. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you definitely bring the vibe. You're a little pocket rocket. You definitely bring the vibe and the energy to every single session. So Laura, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your commitment, your dedication, your progress, and being part of this awesome community.
Thank you for having me.